I know this will never go to radio, but at the same time, if a song starts heading that way, because a lot of times I may even think certain things when I'm writing it.
The music industry's glitziest event became its most jaw-dropping spectacle, all thanks to Eminem's unforgettable appearance. For years, the Grammy Awards have been a lightning rod for criticism, with artists often feeling dismissed and undervalued. No one, however, could have foreseen what Marshall Mathers had in store. As the industry's elite, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Drake included, watched in stunned disbelief, Eminem delivered a verbal onslaught that left executives scrambling and the broadcast grappling with sudden technical hiccups. Every word hit like a thunderclap, leaving the audience spellbound. What exactly did Eminem say to leave the entire room speechless? Let's delve into the shocking details. Once again, the Grammys have proven themselves a hotbed of controversy and unforgettable moments. To truly grasp the fallout from that night, we need to explore the Grammy Awards' long and colorful history of controversies. Since its establishment in 1959 by the Recording Academy, the Grammys have been hailed as the ultimate benchmark of musical excellence, often referred to as music's biggest night. The ceremony strives to recognize outstanding contributions across a range of genres and categories, from Best New Artist to Album of the Year. Over time, the Grammys transformed into a glitzy, star-studded affair that draws massive global audiences and features performances by the biggest names in the industry. Yet, despite its glamorous reputation, the awards have faced constant criticism. Skeptics have questioned the Grammys' credibility, fairness, and transparency for decades, casting doubt on their authority in the music world. One of the earliest and most infamous controversies erupted in 1989. The first ever Best Hard Rock Metal Performance Award shocked viewers when Jethro Tull, not Metallica, took home the trophy. The announcement left the audience laughing in disbelief, as many had assumed Metallica would be the clear winner. This moment not only baffled fans, but also set a pattern of contentious Grammy decisions that continues to this day. Over the years, high-profile snubs and puzzling genre classifications have only added fuel to the fire. In 2020, Tyler, the Creator, won Best Rap Album for his groundbreaking work, Igor, but publicly criticized the Recording Academy for labeling his genre-defying music as rap, suggesting underlying racial biases influenced the choice. Gender representation has also been a recurring sore spot. In 2018, Alessia Cara was the only woman to win a major award, sparking the viral hashtag #GrammySoMale. The uproar prompted heated debates over systemic gender bias within the Recording Academy. While the Academy introduced initiatives to boost female representation, the issue remains deeply contentious and far from resolved. The Grammy Awards have faced intense scrutiny from many of the industry's top figures, with boycotts and scathing critiques becoming all too familiar. In 2017, Frank Ocean made a powerful statement by refusing to submit his critically acclaimed album Blonde for Grammy consideration. He accused the awards of failing to represent Black artists and claimed they were out of step with modern music culture. Nicki Minaj, despite a string of chart-topping hits, has also voiced her frustration, pointing out that she's never received a Grammy Award. Such protests feed into the growing belief that the Grammys don't consistently honor true artistic excellence. One of the most persistent challenges facing the organization is a lack of transparency in its voting process. For years, the Grammys have battled accusations of bias, favoritism, and insider manipulation. In 2020, this controversy reached new heights when Deborah Dugan, then the Recording Academy's president and CEO, alleged serious voting irregularities and conflicts of interest within the organization. Dugan's claims hinted at a system where certain artists and songs were secretly favored, potentially influencing nominations and winners. The scandal fueled already widespread doubts about the award's integrity. Beyond issues of fairness, the Grammys have struggled to stay culturally relevant, especially with younger audiences and the fast-changing landscape of modern music. As digital streaming reshapes how we listen and discover music, the Recording Academy has often lagged behind, leaving many fans and artists feeling that the awards still lean toward mainstream or safe choices rather than recognizing boundary-pushing, genre-defying work. The divide between the Grammys' traditional standards and the music industry's evolving identity continues to spark heated debate. This ongoing disconnect has pushed some of music's most prominent figures to publicly voice their dissatisfaction, often taking to social media or skipping the event entirely. Yet, for all the criticism, the Grammys continue to be a major stage for both celebration and controversy, with drama always lurking in the wings. The ceremony has long been known for its awkward moments and unscripted surprises. One unforgettable incident occurred in 2015 when Kanye West appeared ready to storm the stage as Beck was accepting the Album of the Year award. Though he stopped short of another infamous interruption, Kanye later claimed that Beck should have handed the trophy to Beyoncé, underscoring frustrations over how the Recording Academy recognizes artistry. Kanye's actions highlighted a broader concern about how the Grammys allocate awards. One issue that frequently arises is the lack of diversity among top winners. Throughout Grammy history, only a small fraction of Album of the Year awards have gone to Black artists, despite their undeniable influence on modern music. This disparity has led many to question whether systemic biases still linger in the Grammy voting process. Beyoncé's Lemonade, a widely acclaimed cultural and musical landmark, losing the 2017 Album of the Year award to Adele's 25, remains one of the most polarizing examples. Even Adele herself expressed surprise and suggested that Beyoncé deserved the honor, deepening the controversy over how these decisions are made. Beyond the awards themselves, the Grammys have also seen their fair share of performance-related scandals. While the show has hosted legendary performances over the years, not all have gone smoothly. In 2009, MIA, heavily pregnant and just days from giving birth, took the stage, sparking debates about the extreme lengths artists go to for a moment in the Grammy spotlight. Technical glitches and awkward live moments have only added to the ceremony's reputation as a spectacle that's as unpredictable as it is prestigious. At the Grammys, anything can happen, and the tension often runs deeper than just boycotts and snubs. Sometimes, it's the artists themselves who bring the drama. Eminem's storied feud with the Grammys, reflecting his complex relationship with mainstream recognition, stands as one of the most memorable sagas in the event's history. Marshall Bruce Mathers III, better known as Eminem, has always walked a fine line between establishment acceptance and relentless criticism of it. Initially embraced by the Recording Academy, his early years were decorated with accolades. His major label debut, the Slim Shady LP, 1999, earned him 2 Grammy Awards in 2000, Best Rap Album and Best Rap Solo Performance for My Name Is. The recognition signaled that the Grammys were willing to celebrate Eminem's controversial yet groundbreaking artistry. Eminem's unfiltered lyrics, sharp humor, and dark storytelling captivated both fans and critics alike. The follow-up album, the Marshall Mathers LP, 2000, cemented his place in hip-hop history. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, sold over 1.7 million copies in its first week, and was hailed as a cultural phenomenon. The Recording Academy recognized its impact with multiple nominations, including Album of the Year, and it secured Eminem another Best Rap Album win. However, the acclaim came at a price. The album's raw and provocative content, often criticized as violent or misogynistic, ignited a storm of backlash from advocacy groups and cultural commentators. Accusations of promoting harmful ideas and glorifying destructive themes spurred heated debates over freedom of expression versus artistic responsibility. In the eyes of many, Eminem's relationship with the Grammys was more than just a feud. It was a reflection of his ongoing struggle to balance authenticity with the expectations of mainstream success. Despite the backlash, Eminem's Grammy wins seem to show that the Recording Academy prioritized his artistic achievements over the controversies surrounding him. His performance at the 2001 Grammys became a defining moment in his career, a moment that underscored his complex relationship with the awards. Fast forward to the 59th Annual Grammy Awards in 2017, and another controversy unfolded. Beyoncé's Lemonade, a critically acclaimed exploration of Black womanhood, infidelity, and resilience, was widely considered a landmark project. Many critics and fans expected it to win Album of the Year. However, the honor went to Adele's 25, reigniting long-standing debates about how the Grammys recognize Black artists. Even Adele, during her acceptance speech, acknowledged Beyoncé's impact, saying, "I can't possibly accept this award." Jay-Z's relationship with the Grammys reflects similar tensions. In 1999, he chose to boycott the event, voicing frustration over what he saw as the Recording Academy's failure to properly acknowledge hip-hop. One particularly glaring example was DMX's lack of nominations, despite releasing 2 #1 albums that year. Jay-Z's decision highlighted a broader sentiment within the hip-hop community about the Grammys' historical disregard for the genre. Over time, Jay-Z's position evolved. While he has attended and performed at the Grammys, his critiques have remained sharp. The tension between his tremendous success and the Recording Academy's highest honors persists. Drake, another musical powerhouse, has also faced a similarly fraught relationship with the Grammys, underscoring the ongoing struggle for recognition in an ever-changing industry. Drake's achievements at the Grammys, including 4 wins and numerous nominations, appear to speak for themselves. Notably, his 2011 album Take Care earned him the Best Rap Album title, cementing his place among the industry's elite. But despite this success, Drake has openly criticized the awards and their handling of his music. In a 2017 interview, he took issue with how the Grammys categorized his work, particularly calling out their decision to award Hotline Bling, a track he viewed as pop, as Best Rap Song and Best Rap Sung Performance. Drake's remarks hinted at underlying biases in genre classification, adding another layer of controversy to an already charged conversation. And as we've seen time and again, the drama surrounding the Grammys doesn't stop at what happens on stage. Behind the scenes, Grammy politics and strategic power plays often shape outcomes in ways the audience never sees. While fans enjoy the spectacle of glitz and glamour, the process of deciding who gets a Grammy is far more intricate and fraught than it might appear. The Grammy Awards, presented by the Recording Academy, are still regarded as one of the industry's most prestigious honors. Winning can elevate an artist's career, boosting both reputation and record sales. But how these coveted awards are determined has been a long-standing source of controversy. The Recording Academy's voting process is a complex, multi-step operation, and questions about its transparency and fairness have persisted for years. First, members of the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, NRS, submit albums and songs for consideration. These entries undergo an initial review, during which more than 150 industry experts ensure that submissions meet eligibility requirements and are placed in the appropriate categories. After that comes the first round of voting. NRS members, comprising musicians, producers, and other industry professionals, cast their ballots to determine the nominees. What happens after that is even more contentious. In most categories, the top 5 recordings advance as official nominees, but in certain cases, special committees step in to make the final call. This is where the process turns murky. Critics have long argued that these secret committees wield outsized influence, often overriding the popular vote and sparking frustration within the industry. Once nominees are determined, another voting round begins. NRS members receive their final ballots, allowing them to vote in the general field and up to 10 genre categories. While members are encouraged to vote only in areas where they have expertise, there's no rule enforcing this, leaving room for uninformed or biased choices. An independent accounting firm, Deloitte, tabulates the results, and winners are kept confidential until the ceremony. But this process has drawn significant criticism over the years. The lack of transparency surrounding these nomination review committees is a persistent concern. The Recording Academy doesn't publicly disclose who sits on these committees, how they are chosen, or the criteria they use. Such secrecy fuels suspicion that industry connections and label lobbying often outweigh artistic merit. Additionally, the open voting system, where members can vote in categories they know little about, allows politics to overshadow talent. Major record labels are frequently accused of exerting undue influence, ensuring their artists receive top recognition, while independent musicians struggle to break through. This imbalance has led to a perception that the Grammys prioritize industry clout over genuine artistry. Another enduring critique is the perceived bias against certain genres, particularly hip-hop and R&B. Despite being among the world's most commercially successful genres, artists in these categories often find themselves excluded from major awards like Album of the Year and Song of the Year. This trend has left many questioning whether the Grammys can truly reflect the music landscape as it exists today. For many artists, the Grammys' perceived failure to reflect the true diversity of the music industry remains a deep frustration. Eminem's memorable collaboration with Elton John to perform "Stan" was an attempt to challenge accusations of homophobia in his lyrics, a bold move that blended controversy with reconciliation. The performance was widely praised as a gesture of unity, but some viewed it as a superficial effort to deflect criticism. Regardless, it marked a moment where the Grammys seemed willing to tackle complex narratives, though not without stirring mixed reactions. Despite his early Grammy triumphs, Eminem's relationship with the awards grew strained over time. As his career progressed, he became more openly critical of the Recording Academy, accusing it of failing to understand hip-hop's cultural weight. This feeling of disconnect resonated with many hip-hop artists who frequently felt marginalized by mainstream award institutions. Eminem's frustrations only deepened as he saw the Grammys repeatedly overlook the genre's influence and innovation. He didn't shy away from expressing these criticisms publicly, both in interviews and through his music. On his 2002 track The Real Slim Shady, he famously quipped, "You think I care about a Grammy?" A line that encapsulated his growing disillusionment. This critique was part of a larger conversation about the Grammys' historical underrepresentation of certain genres and artists. Eminem's outspoken stance helped shine a light on the broader issue, sparking debates about fairness, recognition, and the evolving role of hip-hop in mainstream culture. Eminem's blunt critique struck a chord with fans who also felt that the Grammys didn't always reward true artistry or reflect popular opinion. As time went on, Eminem regularly voiced his frustrations, often choosing to skip the awards even when nominated. These absences became a symbolic protest against what he viewed as a flawed system. A defining moment in his Grammy critique came in a 2018 interview with Sway Calloway. In his signature candid style, Eminem admitted that he had lost all interest in the awards. He explained that, for him, Grammy recognition no longer held any real value. He pointed out how some of the most significant hip-hop albums of their time were overlooked, reinforcing his belief that the Recording Academy had lost touch with the evolving music landscape. Eminem's frustration wasn't just a personal grievance. His complaints reflected a broader conversation about how the Grammys often appear disconnected from cultural and musical shifts. Many have accused the awards of prioritizing commercial success over genuine artistic innovation, and Eminem's outspokenness helped push these issues into the spotlight. His criticisms echoed the sentiments of numerous artists who quietly shared the same concerns, even if they didn't express them as publicly. As his career progressed, Eminem's Grammy protests became even more noticeable. Despite continuing to release critically acclaimed and commercially successful work, his involvement with the awards gradually faded. Eminem's stance served as a sharp reminder of the ongoing debate surrounding the Grammys' relevance and their ability or inability to honor the true breadth of musical excellence. Eminem's growing disillusionment with the Grammys was on full display when he chose not to attend ceremonies or submit his album Kamikaze for consideration in 2018. By opting out, he sent a clear message. His artistic integrity and independence meant more to him than industry approval. This bold move underscored his ongoing critique of the Recording Academy and his rejection of its validation. Despite winning an impressive 15 Grammys over his career, a testament to his immense talent and cultural impact, Eminem remained steadfast in his belief that the awards fell short in understanding and respecting hip-hop culture. His refusal to engage with the ceremonies served as a stark reminder of the divide between the Academy and many artists who feel underrepresented or misunderstood. While Eminem's contentious relationship with the Grammys is well known, he's far from alone. Figures like Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Drake have similarly complicated histories with the awards. These towering figures in contemporary music, each with extraordinary careers and countless accolades, have publicly expressed frustrations over how their work is recognized, or not, by the Recording Academy. Their critiques have fueled ongoing conversations about the Grammys' credibility, its ability to accurately honor Black artists, and the evolving relationship between an industry institution and the artists who shape modern music. Jay-Z and Beyoncé, widely regarded as music royalty, have set new benchmarks for Grammy accolades. As of 2025, Beyoncé holds the record for the most Grammy wins of any artist, amassing 32 awards, while her husband Jay-Z has secured 24 Grammys. Together, they represent one of the most awarded couples in the history of the ceremony. However, their journey with the Recording Academy hasn't been without controversy. Despite their numerous wins, the couple has often found themselves at the center of debates about the Grammys' fairness and inclusivity. Over the years, several prominent artists have spoken out against what they perceive as biases within the system. Nicki Minaj, a dominant force in rap for more than a decade, has yet to win a Grammy and has openly criticized the Academy for what she sees as favoritism and disregard for artists who don't fit its mold. Similarly, Travis Scott's blockbuster album Astroworld received widespread acclaim, but his exclusion from major categories sparked speculation about behind-the-scenes politics influencing the results. Eminem, one of the most successful and outspoken rappers in history, has also frequently criticized the Grammys. While he's collected multiple awards over the years, he's remained vocal about what he perceives as the Academy's habit of leveraging hip-hop artists for ratings while withholding proper recognition in major categories. This ongoing dissatisfaction highlights a broader concern about how the Grammys handle diversity, representation, and the evolving music landscape. Eminem's frustrations boiled over when he outright declared that the Grammys were hopelessly out of touch and that he no longer cared about their awards. But why would he ever attend one of their events? What unfolded next was far wilder than anyone anticipated. The story took a shocking turn with an abrupt broadcast blackout. According to insiders at the Recording Academy, the iconic rapper turned a high-profile private event into a no-holds-barred roast session, sending shockwaves through the music industry. Witnesses say the night began as a typical industry gathering, filled with A-listers like Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Drake. The mood was one of polite formalities, rehearsed speeches, strained networking, and familiar promises of reform that no one truly believed. But then Eminem stepped onto the stage, holding a folded piece of paper, and everything changed. What attendees expected was a polite, straightforward address. Instead, Eminem launched into a scathing monologue so sharp and unflinching that even hardened executives looked like they'd just choked on their champagne. "The Grammys don't honor hip-hop," he declared. "They use us for views, then toss us aside." As his words landed with precision, the supposed technical glitch that cut the live broadcast only added to the drama. Eminem's takedown of the Grammy establishment wasn't just a speech. It was a statement that left the entire industry reeling, once again forcing a reckoning about the Recording Academy's troubled relationship with the genre. "It's all fake," Eminem declared, barely concealing a smirk. The crowd's reaction was immediate: gasps, a few stifled chuckles, and plenty of wide-eyed disbelief. Jay-Z rubbed his face as if he'd just felt a headache coming on, while Beyoncé blinked with her signature poise. Drake reportedly whispered "oh no" under his breath, but no one was prepared for what came next. With the timing of a late-night talk show host revealing a scandal, Eminem began reading from his paper. He rattled off a list of famous Grammy snubs, naming artists like Kendrick Lamar, The Weeknd, and even Beyoncé herself. "You mean to tell me Lemonade lost to 25? He asked. Adele didn't even believe that. The audience's response was a mix of nervous laughter, shocked murmurs, and visible discomfort. At one point, an industry executive reportedly stared at his drink as if contemplating an early retirement. Eminem then turned his sights on the Recording Academy's notorious secrecy. "No one knows how the voting works," he said. "It's like some secret society nonsense. I half expect a hooded figure to walk out and say, 'The winner is whoever we feel like.'" The jab drew a mix of stifled giggles and awkward glances. According to sources, Jay-Z leaned over to Beyoncé, muttered something that made her smile, while Drake rubbed his chin as though he were watching a comedy special unfold. By the time Eminem wrapped up, the room had devolved into stunned silence, nervous laughter, and a few scattered claps. Some artists looked around uneasily. Grammy officials squirmed in their seats, and a handful of executives suddenly found their phones fascinating. Eminem, clearly reveling in the moment, finished with a casual shrug. "I walked away from this place years ago, and I've never regretted it. But every year I see artists hoping things will change," Eminem continued. "And every year, it's the same nonsense." With a flourish, he folded the paper and tucked it back into his pocket. "I'm just saying what we're all thinking." Then, without another word, he walked off stage, leaving the room frozen in stunned silence. One source claimed that the hush stretched for a full 10 seconds before someone muttered, "Well, damn." While his speech was laced with sharp humor, the fallout was both immediate and chaotic. The Recording Academy, blindsided by the unexpected tirade, has so far refrained from making an official statement. One executive, speaking under anonymity, reportedly admitted, "We're still assessing the situation," industry code for "we have no clue what to do." Meanwhile, fans are loving every second of the chaos. Some are cheering on Eminem's boldness, calling for more artists to step forward and voice their grievances. Others are simply reveling in the spectacle of the moment, watching as a formal industry gathering was turned into an impromptu roast. Which side do you fall on? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.